Hey guys, welcome back to Relentless. Today we are talking about food.
Nutrition!
Yay! Don't get scared. There's going to be some different reactions to when we talk about food. Some people are going to be like, yes, I'm a foodie, I love food. And some people are like,
Where do I
like
start?
that topic.
Right.
So first, I usually take a few minutes before every interview to explain the credentials of the guest I'm going to have on. But I wanted to have Emily here with me today because it's very important that you understand who you're working with and know that they are trained and have the licensure behind the industry they're representing. And I didn't want to make any mistakes on that because the industry is so kind of,
it's
confused.
complex.
It's
Yeah.
very complex. Mm-hmm. And with the world of multi-level marketing out there and the products they are selling with supplements and meal replacements, a lot of their reps are taking on the responsibility of giving food advice and recommending what clients should eat. And that can be a big problem. My purpose in having the most qualified people to represent this industry for my clients is when you have a specific diagnosis, there are certain questions that can't be answered by someone that's not licensed in this industry.
Absolutely.
Right. So that is my ultimate goal, is to provide you guys with the best qualified professional, especially when it comes to what you're putting inside your body. So whether you're here in this part of the country or in my town or not, if you're looking for help and advice for food, just please make sure you're working with a licensed professional, because you will get incorrect advice from a person that really means well. They just don't know what questions to ask sometimes.
Sure.
So can you just share with us what
What
in the
what
world
am I?
all of those three letters mean after
Right.
some people's names and the name of whatever the title they have is, and tell us why you are who you are and how you can better help us.
Sure. So I am a registered dietitian. However, there's some confusion over a nutritionist versus a registered dietitian. That's what we'll want to address here. So anybody technically can call themselves a nutritionist. There is no licensure specific to that. However, a registered dietitian is sort of your legitimate expert in the field of nutrition. So you want to make sure kind of you understand the difference there. I'm a registered dietitian. I also have a master's degree in nutritional sciences. I started off my career in New York City. I was young and it was fun. And I worked at some hospital systems within New York. And then I transferred to some outpatient counseling. And that's where I really found that I really loved to work with people, because I was able to take the science piece and merge it with the counseling piece. And that's when I found change was most effective.
Right.
So I am also now the owner and operator of South Charlotte Nutrition, and we specialize in weight management, meal planning, and nutrition counseling for people that need some help in that area.
Right. So the one thing I want to go back to and point out is, if you're working with someone and you ask them a question like, I have XYZ diagnosis, can I eat this? They have to tell you, I can't answer that question. If someone says I can't answer that question, that means they do not have the licensure to answer that question. So that's a good telltale sign.
Sure. Yeah. If somebody, someone says, "Oh, well, I don't have the authority to give you that information," that could be a red flag. That maybe you're not with the right person. I mean, dietitians do have specialties, so sometimes when somebody is dealing, like my specialty is not necessarily food allergies, but I know that someone is, so I might refer someone out to a specialist, a dietitian specialist that can address those specified issues.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, that's what I was going for in this pre-interview interview. So I hope that clarifies a little bit about the industry and the tag words and classifications people give themselves. Just make sure if you're investing in this and investing in your health, you pick the right person. All right, so we're going to go into some interviews now and lots of great topics. Again, if you ever have questions or want more information on specific topics, please comment below and we will get to that in our next interview. Thanks. Thanks for joining us, guys, back at Relentless. And today we are going to talk about being relentless in our nutrition and food and all the stuff going on inside our body that have to do with that arrangement. The first thing we're going to talk about is inflammation. So my clients come to me with pains and issues they want me to help them with, and I know that what they are eating is either helping them or hindering them in being the healthiest they can be.
We have a lot in common.
We have a lot in common. So I deal with the physical expression of mental, emotional, and physical stressors. And if someone comes to me and they're not going to choose to eat healthy, I tell them, you are not going to have the results that you want, because you have to make what you're putting on the inside match the effort you're putting on the outside. So let's talk about inflammation. What is inflammation?
So inflammation is just your body's natural way of trying to heal itself. So inflammation is a great thing in that it can protect us from viruses and bacteria. But there's two different kinds of inflammation that I want to address. So one of the types of inflammation is your acute inflammation. So you fall down, you get a scrape, right? It may be red, it may be a little bit swollen, and that's just your body's way of protecting itself. And that's a great thing. I mean, that's how we heal, right? But the second type of inflammation is called chronic inflammation. And this is when your immune system is what we call permanently turned on.
Right.
So this is when a cascade of events are happening internally where your immune system is turned on and healthy tissue is actually being destroyed. So this is sort of a little bit more problematic, right? And it can be asymptomatic. Now, it's not always asymptomatic, but it can be. Some people with chronic inflammation, it may express itself as just sort of generalized achy pain. Sometimes they have chronic fatigue. And sometimes their immune system isn't working the way that they'd like it to be. So how can one tell if they have this chronic inflammation or not? It's a little bit tricky to be able to tell. You can ask your healthcare provider for the C-reactive protein test. And what we found is that people with elevated C-reactive protein can have elevated inflammation in their body. So one of the issues with the test is that it doesn't distinguish between acute versus chronic inflammation, but it's a decent indicator of what's going on inside your body.
So with all of that, it sounds horrible.
Right? I'm sorry, it's such a downer.
Right, no, but who wants that in their body? And who can expect to feel good if that's going on? Absolutely. So what we're here to do is investigate, how does food play a role in all of that bad stuff?
So, well, as you mentioned, it's not a great thing. And so pretty much every disease state stems from inflammation. So heart disease, some cancers, arthritis, depression. So in the Journal of the American Medical Association, they found that people with depression had 30% more brain inflammation than people that did not. And we're going to, in another segment, talk about food and how it relates to mood. Right. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Huge. So how can food help with reducing inflammation in the body? I first want to talk about what foods help with inflammation, and then what foods can alleviate inflammation. So our typical Western American diet. Ooh, I'm going there.
Just dive right in.
So it's characterized by refined grains, right? Yes. So the really processed, your white breads, your cookies, your cakes, that sort of thing. Fried foods, so trans fat, saturated fat. Also an excess in calories. And what do I mean by that? Just eating more than what your body actually needs. Right. So all of those things promote inflammation in our bodies. which is a problem, right? So we kind of want to shift our way of thinking about eating. And one of the diet patterns that's been really beneficial to reduce inflammation in the body is the Mediterranean diet pattern. So the Mediterranean diet pattern is characterized by an increase of fresh fruits and vegetables. So whenever I'm working with a client, we always talk about like eating the rainbow, right? Like the more colorful, the more beautiful, the better it is for you. Also nuts like walnuts and almonds, healthy fats. We're going to get into like the low fat diet craze, but what I want to say here is fat is not your enemy.
Right.
So things like olive oil, avocado, that's going to help reduce inflammation in your body. Whole grains as well. So your quinoa, brown rice, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, tuna, all of those things because of their content of omega-3 fatty acids. We'll touch on this too. Helps reduce inflammation in the body.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a great place to start. Like she said, we're going to talk about this more in depth later.
Yes.
But so we have an idea now of the food, how it can contribute. What about supplements that can help?
So what we've realized through some pretty sound research out there is that omega-3 fatty acids inhibit the enzyme that triggers inflammation in the body. So there we have a clear mechanism of action of how to prevent chronic inflammation from kind of taking over. So I would say before you take any supplementation or alter your diet completely, you really need to consult your healthcare professional, whether that is your dietitian or your gastroenterologist or whatever it may be. So we know that supplementation of omega-3 fatty acids is extremely beneficial in reducing inflammation in the body. Turmeric, I have some right here. Okay, so turmeric is an awesome thing you could sprinkle on. I think it takes some getting used to as far as flavors, but turmeric, it comes in a powder form and also a supplement form, so that's something to consider as well.
Yes.
Flax oil, ginger, green tea, resveratrol, so that's the stuff that's found in red wine.
Ooh.
Everyone's ears just perked.
Everyone just like, yes, I'm on board.
Wait, the dietitian told me to drink
red wine and dark chocolate. That's my new diet.
Right. Okay, pause, freeze. Red wine has some benefits. Okay, did I say go and binge on a tough day? I didn't.
No, you did not.
Okay, so just so you know that you can buy resveratrol supplementation.
Yes.
You can also consider drinking red wine.
Awesome. Very good. So that is a good start for this conversation to let you know where we're going to go with it. So I think one takeaway from today is number one, know who you're working with. Make sure they are legitimate and credentialed. Number two, there are ample ways we can curb and, like you said, shift our relationship with food to make it more beneficial for our bodies.
Yeah.
And it's not hard.
Right. And I think to look at your body as something that you can help. You know, you want to put things in your body that are going to help your immune system, that are going to make you feel good, that are going to help your energy levels. So putting things in there that you know will help your body along, I think is important.
That's what we're going to help you guys with. So we look forward to seeing you again soon. Have any questions? Ask below. Thank you.
Thank you.